Good morning. Welcome to another coffee chat with Coach Melissa. I'm your host, Coach Melissa. Cheers. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I am Melissa King. I am the founder of Wellness Abundance Coaching. I am a certified master health coach and certified personal trainer. So welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to the Wellness Abundance community. I'm so excited to have you here. And for those of you who are subscribers or just, folks who watch my channel regularly, welcome back. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful for your loyalty and I hope that you're getting some inspiration, some motivation, some education through our YouTube channel. So, okay, I'm super excited to talk about today's topic because it's all about unexplained weight gain. So I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why you might experience unexplained weight gain. Now, these aren't the only reasons for unexplained weight gain. Okay, there could be other issues, other health issues, other hormonal imbalances that what you'll want to do is just go see your doctor, go see your gynecologist, your primary care physician, whoever it is that you trust completely to really give you some straight up answers, because it could not be these things. And I'm not saying that it is these things, but these 3 things are the 3 things I'm going to share today are 3 things that you could actually do something about. You don't need an actual medical diagnosis from a doctor to kind of figure out that, oh my gosh, this is it. This is why I've experienced unexplained weight gain. So, okay, so I want to just be perfectly clear. I want to clarify unexplained weight gain. Okay, so if you're on a weight loss journey and, you started eating whole foods, and you're exercising, and your exercise routine consists of some cardio, some strength training, a good blend of exercises to really kind of help you burn fat more efficiently and just really improve your overall health. Okay, so if you're on this health journey, I want you to, this isn't like, oh my gosh, I stepped on the scale today and I'm 2 pounds heavier than I was yesterday. That unexplained weight gain is probably just water weight from a meal you ate. If you ate more sodium, it could be where you are in your monthly hormonal cycle. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about so 1 month you put on a pair of jeans. One day you put on a pair of jeans, and then all of a sudden, 2 months later, or a month later, or 2 months later, you notice that they're just a little bit snug. So you put them on, they're just a little bit snug. You're like, okay, maybe they're just a little tight, because oftentimes I found that to where the fabric just needs to stretch out a little bit, especially if you put your clothes in the dryer. I noticed this, like some of my workout clothes that I just throw them in the dryer, and I put them on and I'm like, oh my gosh, these are a little snug, like what's going on? And then within like an hour they just need to be stretched out a little bit. So, but if as you're going through your day and you're like, oh my gosh, my pants aren't stretching out, what's happening? Then this is the kind of unexplained weight gain I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm not talking about you ate a little bit too much, you just feel bloated, or you just started your cycle again, so you naturally feel bloated. That's not what I'm talking about, just to be perfectly clear. So, okay, and really focusing on the inches, measuring the inches or the way your clothes feel. Don't pay attention to the scale, because I want to just clarify that if you have started a new fitness routine, and especially if you're eating more protein and doing strength training, those 2 combined will help you build lean muscle mass. And muscle is denser than fat. So like 5 pounds of lean muscle mass is going to be like this, and 5 pounds of fat is going to look like this. Okay, see the difference? the muscle is a lot denser. So naturally you could be leaning up, but the number on the scale is not budging, okay? Or going up a little bit too. So I just want to be perfectly clear with that, okay? Okay, so the first reason that I want to talk about is that you could not be eating enough, because we are conditioned that calories in, calories out is the ideal way to lose weight. That's not necessarily true. Now, I'm not discounting the value of being aware and paying attention to how many calories you're consuming, because it is important. It is part of the equation to weight loss and managing your weight. However, it's not something, it should not be the primary focus in weight loss, okay? And I know you could be like, but Melissa, that's what I've been taught. That's what my medical doctor says, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to discount your medical doctor's knowledge and their education, whatever. However, first of all, it's very difficult to measure how many calories you're exerting, okay? Yes, you could go on the machine, the elliptical or the treadmill or the bike, the stationary bike at your gym or in your home and track. It does track it. It's not 100% accurate. And we also burn calories throughout the day, right? So our body burns calories, just functioning, helping our heartbeat, our organs operate properly. So that's just a basic function, and it needs calories. Our brain needs calories, uses up calories, okay? So it's very, very difficult, unless you're in a laboratory setting, it's very difficult to track this. So that's one of the reasons why I don't focus on that with my clients. If my clients want to focus that and track their calories, I'm 100% fully supportive of them doing it. However, what I found is it's challenging to consume like the calories you're eating too. It's just incredibly time consuming to do. But if you want to do it, go for it. I totally support you 100%. If you don't want to do it, here's some measurements. So actually, okay, so I'm going to go back rewind real quick. So you're not eating enough. So if you're eating less calories, you're like, oh, I got to decrease my calories. Okay. And then, but you're decreasing them too much. Your body goes into like a starvation mode where it thinks that it's in a famine mode. So it's going to do everything it can to maintain the weight or add more fat on to protect it, to keep you alive. And this is actually a really important function that our body has. Okay. So I want to make it very clear that this is a good thing that our bodies do this. Okay. So what I would encourage you to do is really, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in the next reason as well, but what you really should focus on doing is just focus on eating whole real foods. So an abundance of vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, starchy vegetables, if you feel like it, if you could do that, if your blood sugar doesn't go up and down, some healthy proteins. It could be lean protein, it could be fatty protein. I'll talk about that too later on. But it can be, it can be that just really focusing on whole foods, okay? And adequate protein. So you should have, if you and I are working together, on a health coaching or fitness coaching basis, I am happy to help you calculate the amount of protein that you should be consuming each day. And women don't eat enough protein just in general. So that should be your focus. So eating some healthy protein, whether it be lean protein, a little bit more fatty protein, a mixture of both, some chicken, fish. Fish is just a good fatty protein. Some fish is like the salmon has really high omega-3 fatty acids. So that's a really good fatty meat to eat. Or just whatever you feel like, whatever your taste buds like. You should never if you don't like red meat, don't eat red meat. Okay. Don't force yourself to eat it just because there's nutritional benefits to it. Eggs is another great source of healthy proteins, but So just make sure you're eating enough of that and you're not eating like the really processed foods. Avoid the bread. I know bread's controversial with the whole wheat, blah, blah, blah. And I say that kind of tongue in cheek because I eat bread occasionally. I just don't eat it a lot because I literally don't feel good after I eat too much of it. So anyways, moving on. So just really focus on eating whole, real foods and also being careful what you consume. By the way, this is my mammoth mug. I got this over the summer. I love it. Really try not to drink your calories too much. So black coffee is good. A little bit of sugar, a little bit of cream in your coffee is okay. Just don't go overboard. Don't do it. Don't just have like 5 cups of coffee with like 3 tablespoons of sugar in it, or even teaspoons of sugar in each cup. So just be mindful of that. But actually, and I'll talk a little bit about that in the next section too. But so really focus on when you're eating like that, when you're focusing on eating whole foods, your body naturally feels full. When you're eating enough, and pay attention to how you feel as you're eating your meal. If you get to a point where you're not quite done with the food on your plate, stop eating, but don't go by how you feel. Okay. Don't just be like, okay, I'm only going to eat half my plate. So you eat half your plate and then you clean up and half hour later, you're still hungry. Because it takes our bodies about 20 to 30 minutes to really start digesting our food. So that's why it's super important to eat slowly and to really be mindful and just make sure you're eating enough food. Okay, number 2 is you're eating too much of something. So this could be you're eating too many paleo-friendly processed foods. So if this is you, like, raise your hand, and I'm going to raise my hand really high. I'm going to go out of the shop, but that's okay. And there's a ceiling right there. But this is me. Simple Mills makes the best paleo-friendly crackers that I've had, and I've tried a bunch of different brands, and that one is hands down the best. When we have those in the house, I tend to munch on them way too much. Okay, and that what it does is it can, number one, it's usually made with nut flour, so consuming too many nuts, which I'll talk about that too, can not be good. Sometimes we get a little overzealous with the nuts snacking and we're not paying attention. And then also the carb count also adds up. So if you're eating, you're like, okay, I'm going to eat a little bit, some more healthy fats so I feel satiated, and to get the nutrients from the healthy fats like avocados, butter, fatty red meats, if you like those, get your B12 from them. You could be eating too high fat and too high carb at the same time, and you don't want to do that. You want to do fairly low carb and a little bit higher fat and moderate protein. That's really the ideal, and then you adjust as needed. But you could be doing that. So you could be not eating, you're like, Melissa, but I don't eat any processed food. I don't eat the paleo-friendly crackers or paleo-friendly processed foods. Okay, take a look at your fruit intake. Fruit is a whole food. Yes, it has nutrients in it. When you eat it in whole form, it's so much better for you. The fiber in the whole fruit helps makes it easier for your body to digest it. So you definitely, if you like fruit, eat it, but you could be eating too much. I actually did this last year where I was at Costco. I don't know why I did this, but I got caught up in the little cutie oranges, and I bought a 5-pound bag of them for 2 people. Okay, first of all, I'm the only one that works from home, so my husband doesn't really eat food at home during the day. We buy food at the grocery store, and he keeps it in his office at work in the fridge. So he always has food available to him for his lunches. So the food at home is really like our dinner, and then the weekend food, and then my lunch. And I don't know why I bought a 5-pound bag of cute little cutie oranges, and I did, and I kept eating them and eating, sometimes I was eating 3-4 a day. And I was like, that's way too much sugar. So I was eating those, and then also eating like my normal, like healthy fats, like some butter, some olive oil on my salads, avocados. I love avocados. I usually eat them daily. And it was just too much. It just got to a point where I was like, my clothes were fitting a little bit more snug, and I was like, okay, I'm going overboard. So it could be something like that. So you can't eat too much of healthy foods. Okay. So just be aware of that. Or it could be that you're eating too much fat and too low carb, and you kind of need to make a shift to where you need to lower your fat and then increase your carb intake. Okay. Because especially if you're a woman, and so when you and I work together from a health and fitness coaching perspective, when you and I are working one-on-one, one of the things I help my clients do is to help them eat with their monthly hormonal cycle. Like, how do you feel when you're on the first day of your cycle? How do you feel in the middle of your cycle? How do you feel towards the end of your cycle, right before you're going to start your period? What are you craving? What are your food cravings? And we talk about that so you could actually eat in alignment with what your body actually wants. Okay. So sometimes that will adjust throughout your cycle. Okay. So my number one tip for these two, you're not eating enough or you're eating too much of something, is to write down, eat the exact same way you've been eating for another 7 days before you make any changes, and just track every single thing that you're eating. And if you and I are working together, then send that to me. Send that list to me. And I've done this a lot with clients in the past, and it's been extremely helpful for them, because oftentimes we don't really know what we're eating. So tracking it and really taking like a wide look at it. Oh my gosh, wow, I didn't realize I was eating that much fruit, because that's exactly what happened to me with the little cutie oranges. So just know I'm here to support you and to help guide you through this process of figuring out. Okay. And the third reason I want to share today is that you might be overtraining. So when we overtrain, so we do too much strength training, too much cardio, and I mean too much cardio, not like where you're walking every day at a pace where it's like low to medium intensity. If you're doing that, that's awesome. That's what we need. We need to move our bodies frequently at a slow pace on a daily basis. It's when you're doing like strength training, like 6-7 days a week. Okay. And it's like intense strength training, like you're lifting heavy, and then you're doing like 3 HIIT workouts a week. That's too much, because what that's going to do is, one of the things that does is it increases our cortisol levels. Cortisol is our stress hormone. So when we're stressed, our bodies then go into fight or flight, and it needs to protect it. It needs to protect our bodies, kind of like the famine mode that I talked about with you're not eating enough. So it wants to protect us. And then when our cortisol is too high, it inhibits weight loss. It totally throws our hormones out of balance, out of whack, and our bodies just kind of don't really know what to do. So what's going on inside our bodies is just like everyone's just panicking. All the little systems are like, I don't know what to do. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to just protect ourselves. We're not going to burn any fat. We don't want to burn any fat because we're in danger, So that could be why. Before we wrap up, I just want to emphasize again, if you have unexplained weight gain and you're in your 40s or even your late 30s, you may want to consider just going to get, a blood panel done and with your doctor, and getting some hormones checked, your thyroid, your cortisol, estrogen, progesterone, all the fun female hormones that we have. And just to be sure there's nothing more serious going on, because that could be the case. It's probably something simple, but like I said, if you and I are working together from a health coaching perspective and fitness coaching, I am happy to help you kind of brainstorm and kind of troubleshoot what's going on, and then you could take the next step and if what you do while we're working together, what the ideas that we come up with just don't work, just go see your doctor and get some answers from them. So okay, so I want to just share a few things. The first thing is I'm super excited, starting in October, which is next week. Actually, I think it's tomorrow, Saturday. The first Tuesday of every month, I will be hosting a Wellness Abundance Happy Hour over Zoom at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So excited about these because I have so many great topics I want to share with you. So what this is this is just a virtual interactive, kind of like a workshop, where I will talk about various women's health topics, and we'll just have a discussion about them. I'll share a little bit of education. I'm happy to coach some of you through some challenges if you have them, but this is really just kind of like a roundtable discussion to help us, to help you kind of learn more about women's health and about how your body works. So this first Tuesday, we're going to talk all about getting through the holidays while maintaining your healthy lifestyle habits. It's possible. I promise you, I've done it. I've been doing it for years now, and I want to share my method with you. So join me next Tuesday. You can go to melissaking.net, and under upcoming events, there's the upcoming events link on the top. There will be a little blip about it and a link to register. So you have to register for it. Otherwise you won't get the Zoom link. If you have any issues with that, just email me, melissa@wellnessabundancecoaching.com, and I'll email you the link directly. And then, and you could also go to the upcoming events link. That's a new link on our website too. I'm super excited about that. Will have all the upcoming events, because I have some super fun events in person lined up. If you're in like the Ventura County area, I'd be happy to have you join me for these live events. So that they're just various topics. I only have one live event on there right now, definitely on the books, but go check that out. And so if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe below so you are always up to date. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.